Royal reveal, surprising hobby Queen and Prince Philip only do in Balmoral exposed. Queen Elizabeth II and her husband Prince Philip reportedly take up Scottish dancing when she spends her annual break at her Balmoral estate, according to an unearthed report. The Queen has just celebrated her 94th birthday in Windsor Castle with Philip. She reportedly spent the day chatting to her family members through video platforms, but due to the lockdown, she was sadly not able to see any of them in person. While Buckingham Palace did not share any more details of how the Queen celebrated her special day, a throwback article reveals that one of her favorite hobbies is to dance. Back in 2018, Hello! Magazine claimed the Queen loves Scottish dancing in particular, and reportedly hosts dances for staff and neighbors when staying at Balmoral every year. The publication also revealed a clip from 1990 which shows the Queen dancing in the Eidsum Reel, a Scottish country dance, at Balmoral Castle. Along with the Queen Mother, Philip, Princess Diana, Princess Anne, and Prince Charles, the Queen appears to be thoroughly enjoying herself. The video included a speech from the Queen too, where she explained why she thought tradition was important. She said, "If you live in this sort of life, which people don't very much, you live very much by tradition and by continuity. I find that's one of the sad things that people don't take on jobs for life, they try different things all of the time. As far as I'm concerned, you'll know exactly what you're doing 2 months hence, and even know about next year." I think this is what the younger members found difficult, is the regimented side of it. The Queen's love of music has been well documented over the years. Broadcaster Chris Evans once claimed that he knew her favorite song was Dancing Queen, by ABBA. The former Radio 2 DJ told his friends that he knew the Queen once said to her dinner guests, "I always try to dance when this song comes on, because I am the Queen and I like to dance." Mr. Evans claimed that the guests then remarked, "My goodness me, there is the Dancing Queen." The Queen's cousin Lady Elizabeth Anson also revealed how the Queen is especially fond of music and singing when she was interviewed by BBC Radio 2 in 2016. She said, "We did a lot of singing at Kensington Palace. Nobody thought it was odd after dinner if we put on a record and all sang doing the Lambeth Walk, so music has always been part of her life." The Queen loves the theater and musicals like Showboat Oklahoma and Annie Get Your Gun. The Queen is a fantastic dancer. She's got great rhythm. Indeed, it appears that music is what brought Philip and the Queen together in the first place. In Philippe's 2011 biography, Young Prince Philip, His Turbulent Early Life, the biographer explained Philip spent Christmas in 1943 together at Windsor Castle and then Princess Elizabeth and his cousin David Mountbatten. The future monarch later told her governess Marion Crawford that "We had a very gay time, with a film, dinner parties and dancing to the gramophone." The governess later remarked that the evening brought a great sparkle to Elizabeth's eye. Mr. E also explained that the highlight of Christmas that year was the Boxing Day evening, when they rolled back the drawing-room carpet and turned on the gramophone. King George VI's private secretary claimed Elizabeth, her sister Princess Margaret, David and Philip all danced until almost 1 a.m. Margaret also wrote that Philip and David went mad and we danced and danced and danced, the best night of all. After that, it became apparent that a romance was brewing between Elizabeth and Philip. They married 4 years later. The Queen issues heartbreaking statement from herself and Prince Philip on her birthday. Her Majesty turned 94 on 21st of April. Buckingham Palace released an incredibly heartbreaking message written by the Queen on her 94th birthday on Tuesday. Her Majesty sent a message of condolence to the Governor-General and the Lieutenant Governor of Nova Scotia, following the worst mass shooting in Canada's modern history. The Queen wrote, "Prince Philip and I have been deeply saddened by the appalling events in Nova Scotia, and we send our condolences to the families, friends and colleagues of those who have lost their lives. I also pay tribute to the bravery and sacrifice of the officers from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and other police services who selflessly responded to these devastating attacks, and to the emergency services who are supporting those who have been injured and affected. My thoughts and prayers are with the people of Nova Scotia and all Canadians at this tragic time." The message was also issued in French, the second most commonly spoken language in Canada. The Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh visited Nova Scotia on their last official visit to the country in 2010, where they celebrated the centenary of the Canadian Navy. The royal family paid tribute to Her Majesty on her 94th birthday on 21st of April, with the Prince of Wales, the Duchess of Cornwall and the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge posting well wishes and photographs on their social media accounts. The Queen cancelled her traditional birthday celebrations for the first time in her 68-year reign in the wake of COVID-19. Instead of the usual gun salutes, she celebrated the day privately at Windsor Castle. "We will not be marking Her Majesty's birthday in any special way," a palace source said. "Any calls, video calls etc. with family will be private and kept so. There will be a social media post as per normal." The palace source added, "There will be no gun salutes. Her Majesty was keen that no special measures were put in place to allow gun salutes as she did not feel it appropriate in the current circumstances."